Yes.
What are you saving for us, Joe? You're hiding secret information from
Huh?
us, and we don't even know what it is.
Uh-huh.
This. Oh no.
Whoa!
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your
Have you guys watched John Mulaney's new show at all?
I watched
no.
the first episode by my lonesome. It was interesting. I like seeing him in the late night format, but I did not love it.
Because it's weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird and so like something we would have thrown together last.
Yeah, it has that feel. Yeah.
And that's why I think I love it. It is a hard watch, and also, and I'll tangent to why for a number of reasons, but like it does feel like they are learning to do a late night show on the fly, which is
Okay.
hilarious. John Mulaney is forever in his like status of learning who he is post being a massive drug addict, and I don't think he'll ever be like there.
Yeah, probably
The
not.
jokes they make about it are very funny.
He's just stuck. But I really appreciated it. I appreciated the swing. I did not watch episode 2. I was like, one is enough for a day. One is enough.
Yeah.
I will. Are they appearing? I watched them. It's fun to watch it live. It is like a fun little gimmick.
You
But,
watched it live?
Oh yeah, I watched it like at 7 p.m. because it
Oh, wow,
it airs
cool.
like every night at 7.
Okay.
But I thought there was one last night as well. So yeah, I've only seen the first one. I probably won't watch another one, but I did watch Cat Williams his live stand up as well last night. And boy, I don't want to derail the conversation, but I'll tell you who does, Cat Williams. So
Because he was all like anti-woke, right? Like it was.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like that, and it's like anti-woke, and he does like some predictable like trans taking, punching down, as they say. But he had some moments that were funny, and then I was like, why am I watching this man lose his mind in front of everybody? And I turned it off.
Train wrecks are fun, but so the thing with all these like aging comedians that are like rallying against the current zeitgeist, it's because they can't handle it. They feel like they're censored, so now they're like standing up against it needlessly, and they feel
Yeah.
like they have to make a point. But even the ones that are losing their mind, they're still talented performers, and they're
Right.
famous for who they are for a reason. And like they got there because they were good at what they do. We're just watching them unravel.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
They let it out on stage. What is John Mulaney's show? I didn't know it was a late night talk show.
Oh, Elliot, please let him know.
Because
then-
didn't he have? I remember he had a thing that was like when you said it was like he was figuring it out on the fly. Remember he had that thing with the kids? It was like that kids thing on
was still
Netflix.
on
I forget
drugs
what it
then.
was called.
He was still
Yeah,
very
he was
much-
still on drugs for sure.
Yeah.
which is actually kind of hilarious.
A lot of the kids too. A lot of the kids
Oh,
were
yeah.
on coke.
That's what the
Um,
snack lunch was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. What is the show? It's everybody's in LA and he's just exploring LA. So each show has like a theme that is LA centric. The first one was coyotes. And so they had
Okay.
like a segment where a guy is out live waiting to see a coyote, and then they had people call in live with coyote stories. And then they
Okay.
had Jerry Seinfeld as a guest, who seemed like he didn't want to be there, and also seems like they need to stop parading him into every venue possible for the
Dude.
like he's been doing for
Thank
the
you
past
for that,
2
Elliot.
weeks.
That was actually going to be my next point about the show. Is that I think Jerry Seinfeld might be the least fun, least warm human being on the
Yeah.
planet.
He
a
kind of
Yep.
seems like being like he's like subtle assholery the whole time.
Not
Yeah.
even subtle. He's a prick. He's like not
Yeah.
fun to be around.
Yeah.
I'm not talk about punching down. He was making fun of the non-entertainment based coyote wildlife expert who had never been on television before, and he was sitting there like
Jesus.
the whole fucking time.
He just kept going, "Why am I here? This is the weirdest thing I've ever done." Like that kind of like stuff where
Oh, I hate
John
that.
Mulaney, like in it, the first time doing a late night gig, has to deal with a very difficult, very very famous guest. It's kind of fun to watch, and he did great.
Ugh.
He handled it as well as he could.
You could tell he was a little annoyed. However, speaking of seasoned performers that just know how to punch up and make it really funny, Will Ferrell has a great little moment.
best.
And amazing.
Do you, Kevin? Do you know who Richard Kind is?
Yes. Is he in it?
Yeah, he plays like the you know how late night hosts have like a sidekick.
The sidekick.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
that's
like
perfect.
That. So he just screams like non sequiturs a lot. Just laughs really loud. Very funny. Apparently Weezer's gonna be on it, so that'll be fun.
Whoa, shoot.
That's
So
fun.
that'll be pretty interesting. I'll be tuning in for that one.
Well, ow. Ooh, little heart spike.
Al Franken.
What the hell?
You guys ever get heart spikes? I'm dying.
Not where I say ow.
Never once.
Does your heart hurt?
It did for a split second.
Okay. We'll move on.
Totally dying. Speaking of live performing, Elliot, you did it. You did it.
I did it. I'm doing it again. I'm doing a full show in Belfast at
Whoa.
the beginning of May. So I'm trying to like panic write a bunch of material. We'll see
Belfast?
how it goes.
That's a flight, ain't it?
Yeah, you know, comedians around LA, just where's the easiest place? It's like Burbank, Glendale, Belfast.
What a casual, weird drop.
Well, I thought, you know, with cancel culture the way it is these days, you can't just you can't say what you want to say. You got to go to Belfast to say it.
Right.
Yeah. Belfast. Okay, so you're going with Pete.
Yeah, I'm going to Pete.
Is
I
it
think Grace is going too, so it'll be very fun.
is it a Pete
Damn.
show or is it your own thing?
It'll be my own hour, but it'll be his, like, he does like a festival out there called Wake. So it's like part
Oh,
of
you're
that.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I worked on that
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, you helped him with like, what was it?
like
videos?
2-3 years ago. Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, it'll be nice. I've never been there before. So, but yeah, it was fun to do that show. Also, fun to be reminded that doing shows in places where there's bars that are open at the same place and they can't hear you and you can't hear the audience is really fun. I forgot how great it is to not have anything understood and to not know if anyone can hear me the whole time.
Dude,
So,
speaking of that, did you have a bar phase in your early 20s or like in your 20s where you just like loved going to bars and did that
Yes.
all the time?
20s?
Absolutely.
You mean 30s? You mean only recently stopped doing it?
are you talking Sardos? Are you talking Nolan's?
Like, okay, but
like
what would that
Lake?
experience be?
you
Like you
talking
go
bar-
out.
Columbia Bar.
Broken Compass?
Gosh, where else did I go throughout my youth? Oh man. Oh, the Star Bar, the Bulldog Bar, Jack and Dan's. Oh God, where else did we go?
Jack
There
and
was the den, the
Dan's.
corner, the hangout, the watering hole.
During SourceFed time, we would run and hide at the Red Robin Bar.
That's fun. I'll do that. So what? You'd go out at like what? 10 p.m., 11 p.m.
1 p.m., 2 p.m. After work at 3 p.m.
You got to get started early. That's rule number one about drinking.
So yeah, because last night, and this has been happening more often now, but Ellie now has friends who like do that, and
She's got
It's-
young.
You're losing her.
Yeah, she's
I'm
done.
losing her. No. I've never gotten it. I've tried doing it so many times, and every time I don't enjoy myself, and I'm like, I wish we could be just like outside, going on a walk, hanging out, and why are we in this room where we can't even hear each other, and I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know, and I feel I'm so much a misfit in that world, because I think most people love it.
Can I give you a secret that will help you
Yeah.
next time? You need to pick up cigarettes. Start smoking cigarettes.
Because then I can go
someone-
outside.
Yeah, so you can go outside. And that is what people who are outside smoking cigarettes are just people inside the bar who don't want to be inside the
Don't
bar.
want to be in the bar. All
And they're
right.
addicted to a poison that's slowly killing
Oh.
them. But besides that, it's this really good method.
I think you're bringing up a bunch of variables that are important to the bar culture scene, my friend Kevin Plachy. It seems like you don't give a crap about like a club atmosphere, like dancing or loud music or something like that.
Right.
And I'm pretty much the same. Like a perfect bar experience is one with it's not too crowded. It almost feels like it's yours. And the most important variable is, of course, who you're surrounded with. And if you're surrounded by a bunch of new people that you don't really know, the conversation's not going to be that fun. You don't feel like
Yeah.
yeah. It's all about who you're going with and the conversations you can have.
One time, it was shortly after working at SourceFed. This was at Sardo's, and there I was. You get introduced to new people, and I was introduced to a gentleman, and he had an English accent, but for some reason in my mind, I thought he was faking it. So I was like, "Oh, nice to meet you too," like that, and then I realized he was actually British, and I was like mortified for months afterwards.
That's why Sardo shut down.
That's
And another good experience. It depends on why you want to go, right? Like, gotta love a good karaoke night with friends, but you know what you're getting into with that. Um, but just going to be like wingman for the experience is tough because it sounds like
Yeah.
you're just going with all of Ellie's new friends. So
Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like
Ellie
it's
like
been
it?
like that. Even she likes it more than I do, but not like a ton. She's not like that's my scene. Jackson's hair gotten long, dude. He's taking it after you.
oh no, he's like
Shave it when he's asleep.
Go ahead. We're gonna shave it off and donate it.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
No. What's up? Good morning. Good morning.
No.
Yeah, maybe you just don't like the experience.
I don't
Like
know.
you
I
just-
wish I did. I'm sad about it, guys.
You'll be all right. I don't think you need to worry about it, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm worrying about it, man.
Are you a camping boy? Are you a
Yeah.
like? Would you like want to sit around the fire with a couple friends?
Oh
and then
yeah.
eat there? You're just an
Yes.
outside boy.
I am. I think maybe that's what it is. I am an outside boy.
Like I appreciate a good bar. Elliot and I have been known for a good dive bar experience.
That's
Like
true.
I like them quiet and I like them dark or outside. I hate house parties. Like even since college.
Oh
I
yeah.
going to parties at houses that were full of people just getting trashed and wasted. Like I never liked that atmosphere, and that was one of anxiety for me. I couldn't
Yeah.
I hate trying to like find moments of conversation and connections in those environments. I've never been able to do it.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's possible. Like, do you think anybody's able to do it, or that's just what you do? Is like,
People thrive in it. Not
yeah,
many-
but are they like after the same thing as you are? I feel like with that, I don't know if they're like
Pussy?
trying to have a good conversation with people when they go and do that. Pussy, yeah.
Pussy.
Budussy.
Pussy. Pussy.
Budussy.
Pussy.
Butt dick pussy. Budussy.
What were you saying, Elliot?
Pussy. I was thinking it's a funny word. It's still a funny word. I was thinking about
Dude, it's so vulgar still.
It's so vulgar. It's so unnecessary. I was thinking about that. Bussy made me think of the Gen Z lingo, like the bussin' and the. I was thinking about mid, and I think mid is like the best that they've come up that any
Yeah, I
generation's
agree.
come up with in a while, and the fact that we
It's
were
a-
sitting on it the whole time, like older
Yeah.
generations, and it was right there. Oh, I think it's gonna be like I think it has the staying power of cool potentially.
Yeah, Gen Z didn't even make,
Whoa.
they just shortened them or like found like a midsection of a word, but sometimes it works. Mid is great. I'll even give them Riz. Riz is
I
pretty
like
good.
Riz a lot. Yeah, is
Riz,
really
I
good.
don't think
forgot
will
about them.
stick though. Like mid might be sticking
That
because
guy's got
mid
Riz.
is so easy to like add into your vocabulary.
Yep.
But we
I'm-
are now the species of a short attention span. So I would think that
It'll
maybe
move
people
on.
don't want to say charisma moving forward. They just want to say Riz because it's quicker and easier.
Have you
Riz.
do you guys say these words? I find myself thinking them sometimes. Like I'll
Mid,
say
I say. I don't say
yeah,
Riz.
Mid, I might I'll let slip, but sometimes I'll be like, I don't cap isn't in there yet. The cap, no cap.
No, Cap didn't get there.
capper.
Cap
No
we said
capper.
as jokes. Yeah.
No. I would say it as a joke and not completely understand if I did it. Right.
Why yeah.
Cap or no cap? No cap?
It's like what's that Pete Holmes bit where he's like, fiction and non-fiction, fiction, not true, not true,
Pete Holmes is great. He's still got it in my opinion. I've maybe let a mid drop out once or twice a year, very rare. What I have been saying unironically, like even in like freaking meetings at work, I'll be like, "Oh man, you slayed that." I'm using slay way too
Yeah,
much.
slay.
way too
Slay
much.
Queen.
It just
That's
falls
great.
out. Just
Slay is really good.
What about Based?
Slaps.
You
I
ever
like
use
Slaps.
Based? Oh, Slaps is good.
slaps. I started using Bop way too late.
Bop.
Based, I kind of, I could see myself getting into using based. I think that's probably around the corner.
Based. I don't even. What is based? I don't even know.
I kind of see it though. A
It's
lot of
like-
people are like, it's just like blue check marks saying Elon Musk is based all the time. That's what I think of when I think of the word based. I know that's not the actual meaning.
It's more like
Based is like
I think it originally was
cool, awesome.
like you're based, meaning like you're very like grounded in who you are. Like you don't care what other people think. You're
Oh.
based. But now it's like, oh, that guy's based. I agree with what he does. I agree with what that person's livelihood is like. Yeah.
Let's find out
Based.
what the. Yeah, it's a word used when you agree with something or when you want to recognize someone for being themselves, i.e., courageous, unique, or not caring what others think. So cool, exactly what you said, Kevin. There you go.
It's almost like Kevin is our Gen Z representative here.
Yeah, that's really neat.
I'm not, guys. I'm not.
Well, you're not going to bars.
That's what I'm saying.
You've never pleasured Ellie.
I've never. That's what Gen Z people do.
Gen Z notorious.
Just anti-sex across the board.
Mm-hmm.
You hate
Asexual.
Joe Biden and you hate Trump.
Yep.
No. You don't know what you're
Gen Z.
I'm sorry to inform you guys about the death of.
Don't say it. Did you hear, Joe?
No.
Well, let me
What
give
if
you
it's-
a hint, Joe. Are you familiar with the character in Lord of the Rings
Oh yes, I know who you're talking
who
about.
plays
The captain.
Boromir, the captain?
Boromir,
He makes the
Doesn't play
ribbon.
Boromir.
He makes the ribbon of the soaring eagle.
Nope.
right?
He bites into a piece
Apple.
of food while
Apple.
Pippin and Frodo sing.
Right. Right.
I literally was watching the Titanic scene where he goes down with the ship right before this, so I know who you're talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that was my first thought. I was like, oh yeah, that was a crazy
I
scene.
like how you said Benjamin too.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't know.
It's not Benjamin. It's
I just
Bernard.
remembered Hill. What was his name?
Bernard.
Bernard. The more British Benjamin.
He's one of those one of those guys actors, and then whenever you saw him in anything, he had so much gravity and presence,
Yeah.
something that I don't think you can fake. He just was really good at anchoring scenes. Anchor, Titanic, nice,
Damn.
nice.
Also, we're at this time now where this Lord of the Rings cast is gonna start dropping.
Oh yeah, and some of them have already.
He's one of those like actors where you're like, oh yeah, this is like I'm sure is like
Been in
studied
plays
or
and
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The thing about like actors in LA, especially a lot of bigger ones, and I think a lot of people that think they're all pedophiles outside of this sphere here, they don't realize that they do so much more for the most part than just be in movies and television and commercials. Like a lot of them have such diverse and thick theater and theatrical backgrounds.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he was traveling in festivals. He probably started on stage, and forget that it goes that deep.
I mean, it's their job. It's not like they just spend, 1 week of shooting stuff. Like they have every day for the whole year to do stuff.
Yeah, and the thing about the theatrical stuff is that for the most part you're not getting paid, right? Unless you're on Broadway, and then you're
True,
like, okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna go do a play because I can and because it's my passion.
It's cool.
Yeah, but I think it's rare that they get to do that. But like freaking Alan Rickman,
Yeah.
right? We're like, this guy has been one of the greatest forever. He must have come up in the acting world. He didn't. Like he came up
Didn't.
on stage. His first role was Die Hard.
Oh.
Yeah, I
one.
think I remember that. Yeah.
And I think he was in his 30s, close to 40s, maybe, when he did that.
Jeez.
Close to 40s?
Yeah.
Wow. I know what he looked like. I guess it's one of those things. When you see it, like, I just assume he was 40 years older than me.
And probably
Joe, what
was.
would be Joe? What would be your cast in a play right now? What play would you want to do?
Like if I was cast in a play?
Yeah, or maybe me and Elliot should cast him into one.
Dear God.
Mine, I immediately go to Book of Mormon.
Oh, I'd do that in a second.
Yeah.
I know
I
you
wouldn't
would.
the tune, but I'd do it.
You can carry the tune.
Elliot, I can see you in Peter Pan.
I will be in the Picasso at the Le Pont Agile playing
Okay.
Globe in downtown Los Angeles.
Dude, what if you just drop that like
actually
you
would
dropped the
love,
Belfast shit?
I will be. Do you guys know the Picasso at the Le Pont
No,
Agile?
what is that?
No, that's like a really great play. I believe it might be a
damn.
one-act, but it's written by Steve Martin, and it's about Picasso
Whoa.
and Einstein meeting at a fictional cafe.
You know what I think you'd be good? You'd be good in a Neil Simon play
Yeah.
Neil Simon.
where there's some good wordplay, but you also, I think you would thrive in a Martin McDonough play.
I don't know what that is.
Like it's the guy that wrote In Bruges.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Okay.
Boards, yada yada yada. Seven Psychopaths.
Wow.
We had another one that was recent, but a lot of like really funny, like not over the top comedy in dark situations. Colin Farrell's worked with him a lot, but I think a lot of his stuff starts on the stage and then makes its way to screenplay. And
Cool.
he was not screenplay. Is it screenplay? No.
What? Like
What's
for a
the-
play?
Yeah. It's not screenplay. What the hell? Playbook?
Play, script.
That's true. What, a script? Is it just the script?
for the
Oh,
theater.
fuck, man.
Having a brain part.
All right, audience. If you
Let's
could help
look
us
to the
out,
west.
what is it with the words, what the characters say for the plays?
I'm looking this up because there's got to be. What
Can't
is
be
the
just
name
script.
of the script? In
I mean,
a
you say
play?
like off book. No one calls it a book.
I feel so stupid. It's too early. Anyways, really good
Playwright.
stuff. Playwright is the guy
The playwright's the person.
All right, let me go back.
that the manuscript of the play.
What? I
Play
people
script.
listening and being like, "You guys
That's
really are
literally what it
morons."
says.
Like,
It says play script, stage play. It doesn't really have a proper word.
Very funny.
That's why we can't get it.
well, but back to not being so dumb. That'd be a good one. Do you? One thing I like about or don't like about some of the Neil Simon stuff is like those types of plays when you watch them. In the audience is so aware that they're supposed to find Neil Simon funny, but it's so old that it's not really funny anymore. And so
Yeah.
it's just like really kind of like old timey jokes, and then the whole audience is like, "That's the funniest thing." Yeah, it's just, like no one really finds it funny.
Well, it's mostly people that are going to a Neil Simon play are the ones that know who Neil Simon is.
That's a good point, Joe.
Yeah.
It is there.
Yeah.
It is his demo by definition. So
I would love to do one again someday, and I think the only way to do that is to A, finally become successful. That ain't gonna happen because you got to have the time, and then B, you succumb to that. You go to a small town to live for a bit, and you do a community theater, and I would 100% be down for that.
That'd still be fun. Yeah.
super fun.
Super down. But I worry, and Elliot, tell me if you feel the same. I don't know if you're quite there yet. I legitimately worry if I could memorize a full play's lines these days.
Mhm.
Like to have a legitimate role and be able to deliver it all. I don't know if it works anymore.
I
know.
think it would. It's just because you haven't used it in a while.
I think
You'd have to warm it up.
I think it's broken.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it expires if you don't use it and you're done.
You're done? No coming
It's
back.
the same with like doing new stand-up. I'm like, oh, this is great, and then I go, oh crap, I have to remember the order of the words,
Ugh.
and like for trying to do like 40 minutes, and so that's a lot of like words, and it is
And
it is
timing.
just a monologue with pauses.
Yep.
Yeah, that is crazy to think about. You don't think about that with stand up.
Maybe I've already said this. I do recommend Rory Scovel's new special.
No.
I love him.
You've heard of Rory Scovel, I'm sure, Joe.
Look him up.
You've been watching. What have you been on a comedy special
yeah.
binge,
That guy's great.
Elliot?
Not really. I do
It's
really
just like
like
you've seen.
Rory Scope, but I am looking at a bunch of other like clips and stuff to kind of get more like, oh, what is people doing?
What are they doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like you're getting your juice back.
Yeah,
Like
trying to.
you wanted to go do it. So what do you think what are you going to touch on in your new special? In your new hour?
Well, I like the idea of opening with the darkest stuff I have. So it's
Great.
going to open with some dark stuff. And I'm going to talk about like I like doing like IVF and like jerking off in the doctor's office.
We talked about that. That's good. Good.
There's going to be I'm going to talk about high school and I'm going to talk about boners in high school. Basically taking anything I've ever talked about on this podcast and
Nice.
saying it by myself.
So you're going to have
Do
like
it.
15 minutes of Neil Simon.
It'll be 10 minutes of Neil Simon. I have a section that I wrote called Jokes I Wrote While High.
Well, that's good.
And I was thinking that it would just be really serious, like socio-political statements. And then I'll
Oh
be like,
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
yeah, let's see if I'm. Oh, here's one I wrote while high. I'm very proud of myself for never having electrocuted myself to death. That's just a true statement.
Good, I like
I
that.
was
Was that
by
genuine?
myself, and I was like, man, I've done so good, but not electrocuted myself. And I do expect it will happen.
And that joke's great with the setup. It works because of the setup. I love that.
Let's see what happens. It'll be fun.
So when you're going to Belfast to do a whole nother hour, are you gonna practice any of it here, or are you just gonna go up cold?
I might go up cold only because going out here, it's like I'd rather spend those
Crushing?
hours just writing and working. What?
Soul crushing?
Soul crushing, and you do like
Yeah.
5 minutes or like 10 minutes, and so it's hard to get like a understanding of. It'll either all work or it'll all be shit. So we'll see how.
I think that's a good way to do it. You're in a completely new place. It'll all feel different no matter what, I feel like. So
That's a good point. Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, that part is like you're supposed to do it. Like you're supposed to go out and I don't know. We'll see.
And you're not like at a comedy festival. It's more of just like a be there.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking that'll either work in my favor or people will be like, I don't understand how to laugh at things. But Belfast, I think, is pretty chill about things. So we'll see. It is nerve-wracking, but it's very exciting. Are you
That
guys
Wake thing was cool too. He had like a
Oh,
bunch
it's
of
cool.
musical performances and stuff. It's really
yeah,
fun.
he does really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like a festival, right?
Grace might do something. She might do some like small she was writing some stuff too, so we'll see.
Festival like gives it at least it could be different now because when I was working on it, it was like during still the pandemic era, so things were kind of like on Zoom sometimes and like well, it was still live stuff, but I bet it's different now. I bet it's a little bit bigger.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool like everything there just looks so like majestic and cool
Right.
and like very like aesthetically it's just like, oh yeah, this
It
is like a
is.
real town with history.
Yeah.
Not like
History
this
is
town.
a good way. Yeah.
Not in this town. That was the best observation from Mulaney at the beginning of that LA monologue was just how it's so big, there's so many places, and not one sense of community.
Yeah, that cracked me up. That was like me by myself going, ha, ha, I laughed out loud, my buddy. He got me. All right. And then I liked when he was like, making fun of LA and all of like the names. It's very funny. And like, not this cynical stretch just to get down directly to the bay because you can
To the
see this,
harbor.
like, yeah, the harbor. Yeah, so good. And they're just like, I'm doing this show because I need structure.
That was a great line too. Good Lord. Kevin, you have to watch it. His
I
big-
will.
Jerry Seinfeld, I wouldn't even say was a guest because he didn't really talk to him much because he's a dick. But then he brought on Ray J
What the
from
fuck?
Moesha / the Kim Kardashian tape. And they had way too long of a conversation. And
Yeah, they did.
really weird.
I was like, why? What is going on here? Why? What call got made? Also,
Yeah. Keep
if
him in.
Netflix is a joke. You got every comedian around you.
Yep. And then he brought in Ray J. And it was this fascinating moment where Ray J was being very, very honest about his personal life on accident. He's obviously going through a divorce. He's obviously the one that is not initiating it. And
Uh-oh.
the guy was like, John Mulaney said something along the lines of like, "Who is your perfect woman?" or something like that. I forget what it was. And he's like, "Oh, my wife." And he's like, "But she's not my wife. My ex-wife. Should have called my wife. I love my wife." So
Oh.
really awkward. Obviously going through some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that anytime you're watching these live things on Netflix, there's always just a sense of like, especially with that, or like, there's something off about every single one of them. It was the same with the Cat Williams one, where I was like, maybe it's just the act of watching this live that makes me uncomfortable, but it's like Netflix is still just like, I guess, figuring it out. I don't know. And they really want to do the live market, like get people into that and be like,
So wait, is it like on Netflix and you watch it live through Netflix?
yeah,
Is that how you're doing it?
yeah.
Okay.
It was
I
live,
don't
but
even
they just VOD it immediately.
immediately, but I didn't even know like Netflix did live streams like that. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're working on it.
Because you could like start, yeah, you could definitely, that's a whole world of opportunity for people.
There's only so much you can do with it these days that I think equate success, especially if you're going to VOD it right away. And of all people, fucking Seinfeld was talking about this recently. But unless you're not posting it or you make it a pay-per-view style, I can't imagine it's all that lucrative other than to say you're doing it. The only thing that it matters live these days is sports. So if Netflix
Sports.
gets into the sports market, that would be very smart because every other streaming platform is. And maybe concerts, maybe live concerts or like actual live stand-up specials, maybe,
Yeah.
but they're all going to VOD anyways. And the problem with that is the culture, back to Gen Z, back to Gen Alpha, back to entertainment in general, we're going through this massive shift. And stupid Seinfeld pointed it out, like he thinks the movie industry is dead,
I
like
saw that.
as far as it goes. And I kind of agree. Like nobody's going to movies. Movies aren't events anymore, and the only time they blow up is when it's a meme first, like
Like the
Barbie.
Barbenheimer.
Yep.
Yeah,
Or it's
that's a good point.
old school like pizzazz, and you're like, oh, I want to go see the Indiana Jones 7 again in the theater because that's how I saw the other ones. And then
The,
don't even watch that.
the irony of Seinfeld being like movies are over as part of a press tour for what is apparently not a
Unfrosted.
good movie. Yeah, Unfrosted, the Pop Tart comedy. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Just
Dude.
setting the bar low
Yep.
right away.
And it's his complaining constantly of everything is so great when you know that like Larry David just peacefully pieced out and just
Yeah.
made a funny show and dipped at the end, but what show doesn't? So it's just like, dude, go do what Larry David's doing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Piss off.
Piss off, Jerry.
It's an interesting world we live in where Larry David's not the dick out of the two of them. Like he's the fun guy.
Yeah.
I want to hang out with Larry David instead. I think you went on, or somebody else went on in that article, and this has been on my mind lately and made me happy to see you do stand up again, Elliot, was
Having to is the correct word.
yeah, having to do stand up again. With all of that changing and with like the advent of AI and we're never going to really know what's real. And even when it comes to movies and scripts and all that stuff, entertainment in general, that really, and we've been on this path for a while now, unknowingly or maybe knowingly now, is that what's really going to sell in the future is just genuine connection and personality. Like
Right.
people are going to be yearning for human connection as we move forward, and the only way you can ensure that is through your own brand, your life, your stand-up, your YouTube channel, etc., etc., etc. So I think we're going to be leaning more into that world, and it's going to become even more fractured as we move forward.
Yeah.
Agreed. It makes me wonder though, like in terms of the movie industry, I think definitely going to the movies will die out. But like movies in general and all that, I think that's got to stay for a long, like even with AI and everything, I feel like all that stuff will stay. I have hopes that, we won't hate seeing all that stuff as well.
Storytelling will always be important and will always be around for sure, whether it's movies or TV or whatever. I just think we are existing in an old model where I don't know if in the future Adam Sandler is going to be paid $20 million for a Netflix deal, because that
Definitely
seems
not.
old school where like the money is so concentrated to what, and they think that person is going to bring in eyeballs. I don't know if that's going to be much of the case moving forward.
No.
So then there's just going to be mini communities sharing information and likes, and then the community, like the community aspect of what we're talking about, I think becomes more of a thing, but it's all these mini communities and micro communities, and it'll be hard for something to break through on the macro level that brings everybody together. Does that make sense?
Yes. So you're saying like the Barbenheimer thing. Like that's what I was trying to like equate it to, of like that I can still see happening. Not necessarily everybody going to the movies, but like a movie breaking through
Yeah.
to the masses and everything. Yeah. Cuz like a movie I wouldn't call like genuine and like your personality. It's definitely like a story that is being told. Yeah. I guess there's two sides to it.
I think people will want to know that the art that they're watching is made by humans, and the only way to genuinely do that will be to have those connections that I was talking about earlier, through a live stand-up set, through a YouTube, through my OnlyFans. Subscribe now.
Yeah. Or do you think what do you think TikTok? What do you think? Huh? What are we gonna do? Am I like was I right to not ever get involved because it's going away, or am I even more wrong and I should dive in
No,
and enjoy
stay
it?
off.
Steve would disagree, and
Oh yeah.
but he died.
He's legitimately crumbling a little bit.
That's why he's
So
not on the
really-
pod.
He's afraid. He's
Yeah.
scared.
He's very
I will-
scared.
I don't.
Pussy.
Big hatchet wound.
Actually, what?
Hatchet wound.
Hatchet wound.
God.
It's the worst.
All right, Kevin, edit that out. I can't believe Joe just said
I remember
You
when I
made
first
him
heard
repeat
that
it.
racial slur.
racial slur. I wish I cared more about it, and I should, because I think there's like a weird overstep from the government First Amendment
Yeah.
thing that doesn't make me feel great about how they're going about it.
Yeah. It's like a bunch of old people who don't understand, I don't think, a lot. And they're like, the problem is TikTok. I don't know if the problem is TikTok.
Yeah. So I if we're worried about our information being sold or taken by China, then why aren't we doing it in every other sphere? Because
Right. Why just TikTok?
I get 1 to 2 emails, if not actual paper mail, every month, where it's like, sorry guys, we released all your information. You can,
Yeah.
we're gonna give you a year free of credit monitoring. I've got
Data
like
leak.
30 years of free credit monitoring under my belt now. Because all the data's out there anyway. So I don't know.
My school got hacked.
Every school got hacked.
Yeah. And then they send in letter with it. Sorry, stuff got hacked. All right.
And then every once in a while you get a letter. It's like, you can join this class action lawsuit if you want.
Yep.
And I had thought about that yesterday, literally yesterday, where it's like, what if you joined a class action lawsuit? And I feel like it's almost, it's like junk mail now. How many of you
Yeah.
actually signed up? Any? None? You've
I've never done them.
Yeah, you've never filled your name out so you can get the $5, right? What if you were like one of 3 people that actually filled out information and
Yeah.
then it won, and they're like, class action lawsuit, $1 billion.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
I guess I should have signed that.
So maybe we should be filling them all out.
I got a check yesterday from my moving and not telling, I guess, cast and crew. It was a nice check, but it was I don't know what it's for.
What?
It just says it's a replacement check because they just kept trying to give me the money.
Who did?
Anyway, what?
What's it for?
It's from cast and crew, cast and crew. And it was 3 checks. They sent it as 1. And it's they sent me a letter first. It was like, you need to claim this or you're never gonna get it. And I was like, well, I'm definitely
Did you
gonna
claim it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime I open the mail, I'm like, oh no, it's like a bill.
Yep.
And this was or one of those things that you're like, I'm not gonna there's like websites you can go to find unclaimed money. of yours, and
Yeah.
I know I still have to do that too. But it's like I'm like, I don't trust these people
It is
that
weird.
are like, let me get you your money for you.
Yeah.
It's so weird. So it was like acting gigs?
Yeah,
Oh, good for you. Look,
Yeah.
you're an actor.
yeah. It's the it's like I have no idea what project it is, but I'm sure it's one of like two.
Nice, dude. I can't wait for the government to take 50% of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
No,
Oh,
this is getting cashed at a check place, and the government's never gonna. No, they're never gonna get me.
they're never gonna know.
Sorry for bringing that up, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. The
Free
TikTok
money.
thing is just I feel bad for the people, and
I think
Also-
it'll get bought. I'm curious if it'll stay around after it gets bought. That's really like what I'm
is it
wondering.
for sale?
Well, that's what they're gonna try and do, right?
The
Somebody's
whole
gonna.
goal is trying to force a foreign company to
Yeah.
sell
To
their
American.
their share of whatever it is to an American company, so the American company monitors it. And even that is, I think, the way even it's owned and the company that it is going through is not even what the government necessarily thinks it is. I think it's going to be caught in the courts. They say like 8 months they'll have to sell by, but 700.
It'll
people
just
are
get
gonna
stuck.
It's gonna
Yeah.
get stuck, and they won't be able to do anything about it. It's
TikTok
all a
lives on.
distraction, guys. It's all a distraction because the Supreme Court's about to make some real fucked up shit happen. And they
No,
want us to
Joe.
TikTok. Yo,
And
All right,
the Nazca mummies. What are we gonna
dude.
do about these bodies?
what they got to do with them?
I am utterly fascinated by this community of people with these alien bodies, y'all. They truly
Are they
there
still
isn't
on about
a
them?
shadow of a doubt in these guys. Like these guys are like these are aliens. These are real bodies.
Oh.
And we know because
Good
look at
for
this
them.
scan. And I'm like, you don't know what that is, and I don't either. But it is wonderful.
Do you think they just spend every waking moment just knowing that aliens exist now? In their
Yeah.
minds, it does.
Yes.
I would be traumatized. Like, I couldn't go on with my life if I actually believed that.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously, like, think if you actually believed that there's real
Yeah.
aliens.
It would have an effect on you.
Yeah.
I don't know,
These,
guys.
I guess, technically are ultra terrestrial, so they're not.
Okay.
my
Okay.
ability to put my head down and just be like, I gotta make sure the car payment comes in
Right.
pretty solid. So
Yeah.
if that did come in, I'd be like, cool. I gotta make sure that I pay that.
Yep.
Bye. I don't got time for no aliens.
Joe, there's aliens, and you're just signing out a class action law or signing.
Hold on, I'm about to
that's
get the
great,
big
yeah.
one. This is better than Spotlight, which I bought 7 of this week.
All right. Anything y'all have been watching? We like to wrap it up with that, don't we?
I watched Steve's suggestion from last time we talked, which was Life, starring Jake
Yes.
Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, and it is a fun little sci-fi romp.
I think I'll
I
take a
enjoyed it.
look at it after you said that.
Fun little romp.
Yeah.
We started watching another Steve recommendation called Three Body Problem.
Oh.
Making my way through it. We stopped in order to watch Survivor. Because you got.
Is it the new season on?
Survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we need to get back into it, me and Ellie.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's
these
time.
people. You should watch the season because the first few episodes, you're just like, these people are just jerks. Like they're not like fun. They're not like a good. I was like, I don't think these are like nice people. Like
Yeah.
they're like
That's
kinda
fun, though.
Yeah, there's like players that are backstabbing other players, like kind of for no reason. and
Yeah.
it's pretty wild. They're like, oh, you're kind of a dick. Okay, cool.
Is there any caveat? Like, is there any, or is it just all new people?
Yeah, it's all.
Okay,
new
good.
people. I
That's a
think they
good
said-
season. Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 seasons from now, they made an announcement that they're gonna do like people coming back, like a reunion.
Okay.
Season.
That thing's been going forever, and I have watched 0 episodes in my life.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah,
It's so
it
good.
is one of those things.
I had
If
MTV.
you start watching it,
I had MTV's The Challenge. I didn't need Survivor.
yeah,
They need to do like Survivor Streets of New York. Change it up. Survivor Skid Row.
that'd be very funny. Yeah, urban survival.
Yeah, why
Urban
not?
Survivor. They could.
It's
It'd
all been
be.
tropical islands, right?
Just do a different like all the tribes because they have different groups. You can do different boroughs of New York, so you can have
Different gangs.
I love it.
gangs, like the gangs of New York.
Ooh, great movie. People hate it, but I love it.
Really? I've never seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun. You should watch that and then follow it up with Quick and the Dead and then follow it up with The Beach and then you'll have a Leonardo DiCaprio trifecta.
Whoa. You know what show you should start after, Elliot, is Baby Reindeer.
Yeah, I saw that advertised. Is that good?
It's very good, actually. It's different. It's very well written and acted. And like I said, not scary. Fun. Like it's funny, but like
Cool.
true, modern, and it's like, again, something about it feels like, oh, I haven't seen something like this before. They're doing this in a different way that I really like.
A comedian has a chance encounter with a struggling woman, and then something happens after that.
It
She
looks
gets-
like an
Yeah.
anxiety fest. I'm afraid to watch it.
Why?
Really?
Just watching a guy get stalked by a crazy person the whole time while also kind of loving it. Not
Oh, I
real
love
weird.
it. It's really cool.
It hits too close to home for Joe.
I know it's what it sounded like.
Look, as soon as this comedian starts giving me the time of day, then I'll go.
Rory Scovel.
on. I was looking. I was looking for an article that I did for my hometown paper like years ago, and I found it. And I bring this up because I just used the word trifecta. Keep in mind this is small town Montana, and it was talking about how like we're finding a way to make it work in L.A., Montana boy, whatever. And I said a quote in it that, looking back on it now, I'm like, I can't believe I said that. That's fucking crazy. And it was literally talking about the commercials I landed when I got here. It was like, oh, I did a KFC commercial. I did 2
Right.
beer commercials. And then I followed that lineup with, I'm just really waiting to land my Walmart commercial. So then I'll land the white trash trifecta.
What?
Very nice.
It's like, oh no, I said that there?
Very good. Very good, Joe.
Dude.
Yeah. Super without finding that.
Well, you couldn't say that these days because of cancel culture.
Yeah, no. Well, and I
Can't
said
say
it.
anything.
I should not have said it.
Yeah.
Movies are dead.
Trifecta. It's all good.
Yeah, you should definitely watch that first episode of John Mulaney and see how much of a dick Jerry Seinfeld's being there, Kevin.
I love it.
I'm glad you picked up on that too, Joe. I was like, is it me? Like, is this guy?
I feel like it's
Tired?
been happening. Since when has he done
Yeah.
anything that people were like, oh, Jerry's back. This is great. Was it like comedians in cars type of thing?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But every interaction outside of that, outside of his,
It's
like,
been shit.
He's been a dick. He's just dick.
Yeah.
To me. You know, I think that I don't have to worry about anything. Good, he can say whatever he wants. Sure, but like, man, there's a lack of warmth with that guy, who the world has given everything.
Yeah.
That just does
Yeah,
not
very
seem
true.
to me
Yeah.
at all. And also, his comedy isn't funny anymore. So maybe that's what. It's,
Could be.
yeah, I don't know.
Whose is Rory Scovel? Check out his special.
He kind of blew up online first, right? Like I saw clips of him
Yeah.
circulating like 5-6 years ago, and now
So you do
now
know.
yeah. Well, once I saw his picture,
Cool.
but yeah, he's just one of those not over the top, monotone-ish, but very clever.
He'll do.
observational guy.
Yeah, and he'll do whole sets in a southern accent. I think he did. He did like I think Conan maybe. Like he's done sets on TV where he doesn't acknowledge it that it's a fake accent. He just will do an entire, just all southern. Doesn't say that he's from the South. He just does it just because he thinks it's funny to do. And then he had like a show he did in Atlanta. He did like 5 nights where it was all improv. So all improv stand up. So he would just go up by
Whoa.
himself.
So he's bold.
Yeah, very bold move.
Is all improv stand-up just crowd work?
Yeah, I kind of wondered the same thing. And he said that like by the 5th night, when he went on stage, he just didn't care like about anything because he was like, once you do it for that 5 nights in a row, he was like, you can go on stage and just have the thought in the back of your head that I know that I'm funny. He was like, other times in previous years, I would just constantly be obsessed about am I funny? Is this special gonna move the needle? Whatever. And he's like, now like there's a comfort in just being like, no, I can do this. And
I don't need anything. I can just walk up there and do a show. Yep.
Yeah, it's very cool. Not for me. I'm not doing that. No, thank you.
You nail it. You've done crowd work before, yeah?
Improv, yeah, but improv, just like doing improv stand up is like, I don't know. I feel like
that's a level. Yeah.
Like improv stand up of like tonight, it's like, give me a word, and then they're like pineapple, and then you start your stand up set about the world.
That's probably part of it. Yeah.
I assume, yeah.
Yeah, that's
and maybe like stream of consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be terrified, but cool idea. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
what's the point?
Podcast. That's a podcast. What's the point?
You guys want to debate something? What's the point?
All right. Well, let's say goodbye. What's the point? But if you like more, what's the points? I'm gonna shout out this other podcast that Plachy and I are working on over at React.
Oh, shoot me!
Called the React Cast. Kevin is the producer on it. He's very, very good at it. We talk about anything and everything, and we bring on guests from the React world, and it's really fun.
And it's in person. It's not over Zoom. It looks nice.
That's true. It is in person. We should bring Elliot on as a guest.
I'd love that.
Let's do that.
I am going to go take some of my pre-workout, about which I emailed the company and complained.
Wait, why?
I felt that the taste was different than the previous shipment I had received.
Oh.
And when I went outside and was talking to my brother while drinking it, it turned brown as opposed to blue. And so the flavor, bombsicle, is very bad. And it doesn't taste like anything in nature, but I am weirdly addicted to it, and I have it before exercising. And so I'm going to go drink that right now. I'm going to wait about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to start, being able to hear colors, and then I'll be having a great time.
You're going to get a free coupon for one more bottle
Bombsicle.
Yeah. Well, they emailed back and they said, you're absolutely correct. We did change the formula and it is a little milkier now, but we're still providing the same And I was like, I guess they can't all be winners, but I am having a great time continuing to email companies at the slightest inconvenience. So, thanks for your time, everybody.
I think we just found your new YouTube channel. That is great.
I'd watch TikTok.
Now is your time to start TikTok.
Just me typing. Tastes different.
Way more engaging than you're giving it credit for. I bet it would.
Yeah, it is.
All right, bye.
All right, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.